We think it's really important to treat the soil well, to treat the land well, and to be as natural as we can.
Here at Heaven's Harvest Farm, a USDA certified organic farm with about 100 different variations of produce, high quality and natural goods are top of mind for farm manager Joshua Howard and his dedicated team.
We are not allowed to, nor do we want to use any chemicalized or synthetic fertilizers, pesticides, insecticides. It's really important that we address the fertility of the soil. That is a primary objective in organic farming, so that that plant can establish itself and of its own accord defend itself against pests and insects and disease. We just believe that the chemicalized insecticides, pesticides, fertilizers, they're not good for your health. And we know that the body cannot process chemicals well at all. And it's not as simple as just washing them off.
Not only is growing organic a way of life here at Heaven's Harvest, it's rooted in the farm's very foundation. Josh's father, Ashley, and his wife founded Heaven's Harvest Farm in 1994. After navigating some very difficult health challenges, Ashley experienced firsthand the positive impact 100% natural food and produce can have on one's well-being. Ashley told me that Heaven's Harvest had humble beginnings. The land had been untouched for a few years before he purchased it. He joked that he made just about every mistake under the sun as he built the farm from the ground up, using his salary as a teacher. Now, with the help of his son Josh, Heaven's Harvest is thriving in its endeavors to create natural foods, which they sell to over 18 different Whole Foods locations, 7 farmers markets including Framingham's, and more.
We've been spot tested by the USDA at our markets, where they come unannounced, take whatever they want off that table, and they take it back to a lab and test it. Our cherry tomatoes, last time they were tested, were free of 275 chemical compounds that they test for. So not a single trace of any one of those compounds. Some people might say that all organic food is overcharged. I totally disagree. I can show you our books and what those look like. Yeah, the profit margins are negligible, if any. It is more expensive. The labor often is more intensive. The things that we use to benefit the soil and to build up its structure and is more expensive. Just buying seeds alone, organic seed, is always more expensive.
At a time when the cost of everything is up, inflation can be uniquely challenging for farmers. That's according to Rick Kelly of Kelly's Farms in Upton, Massachusetts, who spoke with me over the phone. But nothing tops Mother Nature.
The rain, the wet last year was very, very bad. I think every farm had trouble last year. I really don't know any farm that didn't. And inflation as well. With the bad weather, that means we have to buy more things. We have to import more produce. We have to buy more stuff to sell, which costs. And last year, not only inflation, but all the farmers being in the same boat with the bad weather, that drove up prices as well, too.
Kelly's Farm has been in business since 1936 and started out as a couple of tables on the side of the road. Rick Kelly, who manages the farm along with his father and uncle, takes pride in their old-fashioned and nostalgic stand here on Milford Street. While they're no stranger to the ways in which weather can impact their crops, last year was different.
When it's too wet, there's not much you can do but just kind of, watch things rot, I guess.
Kelly's Farm was just one of hundreds of farms across Massachusetts that received funding from the state government last year through the Natural Disaster Recovery Program. Between a deep freeze in February of 2023 to an early frost in May and then disastrous flooding in July, it was a devastating year for many farmers.
I read the list of farmers, and I just about every farmer I know got help last year. Mm-hmm. So that was the first year we ever really had to do that.
Heaven's Harvest was also included on that list. On a random Sunday afternoon, Josh received a phone call from Massachusetts Lieutenant Governor Kim Driscoll. At first, he thought it was a prank, but sure enough, a few hours later, he got a follow-up call from Governor Maura Healey.
We had a good conversation. She said that they were going to work really hard to help the farmers, and they did. They came through, and they did a good job. And so we're really grateful for that. And that was an excellent example of what kind of effort it takes for a community to support its food structure, to see the community, invest into local food by paying, what's necessary for that food to be grown. I know no farmer that's getting rich. One of the things I tell anybody that comes to work here is that nobody farms to make money. They farm because they love it. The point is to grow great quality food on behalf of the people that want to eat it.
We can't survive without the customer support, basically. It's hard to compete with the grocery store prices, you know what I mean? Because they sell a lot more volumes than we do. So growing your own stuff, though, I think people don't mind paying a little extra if the quality is unsurpassable. You know, make the extra trip to the farmers market or to our store or other stores like ours. We really appreciate it. That's what keeps us alive, you know, and understanding of how important farms are to the community